What's going on, teens? Tanner Weidman of thebarbarianbody.com. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can get jacked faster than ever before. Look, if you're tired of the slow gains, I'm going to be sharing every step and process that you need to be applying as of now so that you can fast track your results, gain that muscle quickly, and without further ado, let's just get the hell into it.
Bandits, this shit is outstanding. Why you niggas playing me? What don't you understand?
Alright, now that we've gotten the shirtless portion of the video out of the way, let's get into this. The very first thing that you need to do is you need to actually set a goal for your physique. Do you want to look like a bodybuilder, or do you want to look like a power lifter? Do you want to look like a gymnast? Do you want to look like a swimmer? Once you've determined this, and typically you want to think of, maybe there's an influencer or an athlete that you want to get a similar body type to, you want to try and find exactly what they are and what they do, the type of training to get that physique. Because if you want the big, powerful, broad physique that a power lifter has, that's going to be different than, let's say, if you were to try and look like a bodybuilder, because, they're lean with a lot of muscle mass, but their strength might not be at the highest level. That type of training is going to be significantly different than that from a power lifter. And even for the example of, let's say you want to look like, a swimmer's physique, or, like Zac Efron in Baywatch, if you want that type of physique, a certain type of training is going to be required from that that's going to be significantly different from other types of training. So it's important that you actually find the physique that you want to look like so you can adapt the training style that will get you that result. Because there's just too many guys that say, oh, I want to look like a bodybuilder, but I'm going to be doing 5x5 training all the time. You're not going to get that type of physique by doing a 5x5 training all the time and only 5x5 training. So find a goal physique, reverse engineer that style of training, and apply it to you so you can actually get those results. Now, number two, realize that the body that you want is likely not the body that you're willing to pay for. A lot of guys right now are looking at athletes like the Gymshark athletes, and you want to look like that. Well, here's the thing. The way that they're training, they might be training 6 times per week, 2 times per day. I'm talking about 2 hours, 2.5 hours sometimes in the gym for those 6 days a week. Is that something that you're willing to do? And not only are they in there for like 2.5 hours, most of them, but also they're training at a level that you might not be able to handle every single day for 6 days a week, in addition to the lifestyle that you're currently living. Whether that's you're going to school, whether you're going to work, your schedule just won't allow it. And also your body's going to be broken down so much. Like if you had a job moving things for people at a moving company and you're trying to work out 2.5 hours, 6 times per week, your work is going to suffer significantly. But not only that, there's also the drug portion of this as well. So if you're not willing to make the same sacrifices that those guys have made, you have to realize that and make a more realistic goal for yourselves. Because too many guys will say, I want to look like my favorite influencer online, like maybe Tristan Lee's physique or something. And then they try and go out and train that way. And then they realize, well, this isn't manageable. I can't actually do this. And then they wind up quitting and getting frustrated. So it's important to set a realistic goal for your physique. Number 3, you actually want to think about this like you're leveling up in a video game. Most people, when they say they want to get jacked, the first thing that they do, they'll go online, look at the bodybuilders' workouts, look at their frequency and their intensity of their workouts. Now, kudos to you for looking for the reverse engineering strategy, but instantly what guys try and do is, I'm going to go ahead and do Ronnie Coleman's, 2-hour arm workout that he did, doing like 50 sets for your biceps and triceps combined, so that the next day when you go and try and actually work out or even just get out of bed, like your arms, they can't move. A lot of guys, young guys especially in high school, because they want to get results really quickly, they're really at like maybe level 2 or level 3 out of a possible 10 level scale that we're going to use here as an example. And initially they're going to just jump in and try and start training at level like 8 and 9 and see if they can stick with it because they want the results fast. Now, you might be able to do that and train at a level 8 or a level 9 for, maybe one or 2 weeks, if that's, like, let's be honest, most of you would probably only last like 1 or 2 days if you were following the exact workouts that, your favorite influencers or favorite bodybuilders were following. But what actually happens after that is really what's the most important. And after you've done this process, you're going to be so burned out mentally, physically primarily, but mentally as well. You're not going to look forward to actually go in and work out. You're not going to look forward to eating the same plain foods every day and eating these huge caloric surpluses, or if you're trying to lose weight, then getting into significant calorie deficits in order to get these results. And what's going to happen is, well, for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, you're not going to train because you're not going to want to get back on that horse. And your physique is going to start to backpedal. You're going to get back to that physique that you started with initially. And again, you're going to be disappointed in the way you look and want to try again. And this vicious cycle that guys get into where they'll try and pick up where they left off. Go and start training at a level 8 and 9 again. Again, they'll be able to do it for, a few workouts, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, depends on, how disciplined and how hard you actually go and keep yourself committed. And then after that, they're back at it again. They stop because they can't maintain it. So if you're at a level 2 or a level 3, you need to master that level first and don't jump to a level 7, 8, or 9. Rather, you need to jump to a level 4. Get comfortable with that level of training. Whether it's training for an extra 5 or 10 minutes, whether it's adding in a full workout extra in the week. Let's say if you're only training 3 times per week, now you've got a 4th workout to do during the week. That's your next small step up that's going to be manageable for you to do so that you can commit to this long term. And honestly, you need to have been able to train at that level for at least 3, 4, 5 weeks preferably. I would say 4 to 5 weeks. If you've done that for 4 to 5 weeks consistently, haven't deviated from that, that's when you can start to go, okay, what's the next thing that I can do to start to add to my training or add to my diet that's going to be more disciplined or require more work ethic so that you can progress up and start to level up so you can get closer to that level 10. Now, do all of you need to get to that level 10 as well? No, absolutely not. For the most part, for the physique that you want, you might only have to actually get up to let's say a level 5 or a level 6. The 7, 8s, and 9s and 10s, that's like pro bodybuilders, pro athletes. So just make sure that you're leveling up in a progressive way that's not going to demand way too much out of you so that you wind up burning out, quitting, starting again, and getting in this vicious cycle of no results actually, but just pure disappointment and just frustration. You'll end up being one of those guys in my comment section or another YouTuber's comment section that's going to be like, I've tried everything. I've tried all these different workouts, this strategy, that strategy. It just doesn't seem to work. Level up progressively. Number 4, train properly. Now, what I mean here is when you're performing your exercises in your workout program that you create for yourself or you find online, if you're looking for workout programs, link in my description, try Barbarian Body All Access, free for 7 days. We got 9 different programs. But when you're performing these exercises, you want to minimize as much things like momentum, half repetitions. That is if, your exercise routine's requiring you to do full repetitions, cheat repetitions, avoiding low time under tension if you are training for hypertrophy and looking to build muscle mass. You want to avoid these things. This is so important because guys will start doing, I'm going to do deadlifts and bench presses and squats and training like, those Gymshark athletes and lifting really, really heavy, but your form is so bad. So there's two caveats with your form being bad when you're working out. Number 1, obviously, you can probably get injured a lot quicker. So it's just dumb in that sense because you're not going to be able to train for a while, or your training will never be the same if you wind up with a really bad injury. But number 2, while you're performing each one of those exercises, because the form is so terrible and you're not really using your muscles to lift the weight. Rather, you're utilizing momentum. You're utilizing other muscle groups that aren't supposed to be incorporated in that exercise to cheat the repetition and to cheat the weight actually up. And it's kind of like every time you're doing a repetition, you're getting like half, or even sometimes for really god-awful form, 1/3 of the amount of micromuscle tears that you get from a certain exercise that your body is then responsible for repairing and growing into bigger and stronger muscle tissue the next day, compared to if you were to do each one of these exercises with proper form. So if you want to maximize your results, maximize and improve your form on every exercise that you possibly can. Be very aware of that and go out of your way to learn the proper execution of these exercises. I've got tons of demonstrations on my channel where I'll show you guys exactly what you need to do in order to properly execute the exercise for maximal muscle recruitment. And this goes hand in hand, warming up. Obviously, yes, this is to prevent injury during your workouts, but more importantly, if you properly warm up before a workout, you're going to get your mentality engaged so much significantly more. You're going to be able to push a lot harder during your workouts. And because there's blood flow already in these muscle groups, you're going to just have a much easier time to develop that mind-muscle connection, which will actually be able to help you to recruit more muscle fibers on every repetition during all of your exercises. Number 5, you need to create a workout schedule. You need to lay out the exact days you're going to be training and the exact times. So you're going to want to do, whether you're doing a push-pull legs workout, whether you're doing an upper lower split, whether you're doing full body, I don't care. Whatever it is, have the exact days and the exact times, because if you don't have this information laid out for yourself, you're gonna have a tough time sticking to these workouts. Next is actually structuring your diet. You need to determine the exact amount of calories that your body is gonna need on a daily basis. If you wanna build muscle mass, you're gonna need to be in a calorie surplus. So you're gonna have to determine how big that calorie surplus is for you every single day. And in addition, the exact protein requirements for your body on a daily basis. I always like to recommend a great starting place is to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. It's really easy to remember all of the time, and it's easy to actually stick to as well. Some people say you can even go up to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. I think that's a bit excessive. Some people say a little bit lower than 1 gram. I like 1 gram. It's just a number that's really easy for me to always remember and always to remind you guys to follow as well. Plain and simple, it's just really easy to stick to long term. And this is the most important. You guys are teens, so for you, gaining weight is gonna be really hard. You need to eat more. And I don't care. I'm having a tough time eating. It's really hard for me. I don't care. You can either make excuses or you can make gains. It's your decision. If you leave your house, you must have food with you. If you don't have food, you must have a protein shake. Because if you don't, and you go to school and you don't have enough food and you don't have enough protein, you're not going to be able to make those gains. Or if you have to go to work and you don't have the proper nutrition, you're going to make this stuff so incredibly difficult for yourself because you don't have the resources to build the muscle mass. Your diet is absolutely the most important fundamental principle that is required for you guys to build up muscle mass and to increase strength in conjunction with a proper training program. And if you're looking for supplements, guys, protein powder probably is going to be the main one that you are going to want. This right here is pre-workout from EHP. Head to the link in my description. You can try out EHP's range of protein powders. They've got some really good ones. Their new Oxyway peanut butter puffs, I think, is my favorite. You know, for teenagers, protein powder primarily for you guys. I know a lot of guys say they want to get on creatine and all this. Protein powder is going to be your staple. So link in the description, code Barbarian, that'll get you a discount. And honestly, this is pretty much it. You need to do and follow all these things, but most importantly, you need to consistently do them. Because as I was saying earlier, you can do it for a week or two, see some small results, but burn yourself out because you take on way too much initially, and you wind up not training, not following your diet, and then sticking with, no training and no diet for a few weeks, and you wind up getting out of shape, getting frustrated and trying again. It's a vicious cycle. So stay committed with this stuff. Don't take on too much right from the get-go. So there you guys go. That concludes today's video. Hey, if you made it this far, be sure to comment down below, spooky tree down in the comment section so I can see who made it this far, and also we can confuse everybody in the comment section when they ask, why is everybody commenting spooky tree in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button down below, and also be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.